Kyrgyz opposition leader Roza Otunbayeva joins me now live on broadband. Ms. Otunbayeva, thank you for joining us live on Al Jazeera. You've declared yourself in charge of the country. I'd like to ask how much of the country is under your control?
We are controlling pretty much the whole country, although Bakiyev, the former president of Kyrgyzstan, he has left Bishkek and he's in the south of Kyrgyzstan, and he tries now to consolidate people, to protect him, to provide his further life on throne. But we have governors in those oblasts, in Jalalabad, in Osh, who are part of our government.
I spoke to the president on Friday, and he categorically blamed you for all the violence that occurred in the capital, and that he said he was not to blame. What's your reaction to that?
I just came from the hospital where I have visited wounded young people. They are between 20 and 35 years old. And so we have, unfortunately, more than 70 people dead. Those people been around the White House, going to demand from Bakiyev what kind of authorities they are. But Bakiyev's snipers, they killed them, they shot them, and I just met with the commission from the representatives of the OSCE, and I asked them to set up the commission from international experts, which will define, which will study all these facts of repression and vandalism occurred in Bishkek.
Ms. Otunbayeva, you said in an earlier press conference during the week that you will talk to the president to discuss his resignation. He is adamant he will not resign. How are you going to try and sort this impasse out?
Yesterday he has stated, he issued a statement. He adamantly said he's not going to resign, but such a interim government guarantee him his personal security, but we have started to open criminal cases against his close allies and parts of his family, because they've done a lot of crime in Kyrgyzstan. Again, we guarantee his personal safety, and we call him for resignation.
If you are describing yourself now as the legitimate government of Kyrgyzstan, what international support are you getting, and who from?
We are interim government. We came right after such dramatic events. I got a call yesterday from Prime Minister of Russia, Vladimir Putin. I talked to Chairman of the OSCE, Mr. Saudabayev, Kazakh Foreign Minister. I talked to Deputy Ambassador of the United States Embassy. We are in contact with other embassies here. My deputy, ex-Prime Minister of Kyrgyzstan, Mr. Atambayev, he is now in Moscow. By our request, he had a meeting with Prime Minister Putin, and our needs so far quite. We have a needs, financial, economical needs. They've been We've been considered by Russian government, and so we hope to get assistance.
Ms. Otunbayeva, did you plan this in any way, or did you just take advantage of the public's discontent with rising prices and issues of corruption within the Bakiyev government?
Our situation in Kyrgyzstan was unbearable over the last years. Neither presidential or parliamentary elections been both unjust, unfair, and social life deteriorated dramatically. Tariffs not only for hydroelectricity but for all utilities, almost for all utilities, plus mobile companies, all of them, they raised tariffs. Meanwhile, they have started to sell our strategical objects for nothing. And Sailor was his son. This government, composed from the friends of his son, international size affairist Gurevich was working inside of our government. He was wanted recently by the Italian court, and he just probably left Kyrgyzstan. So people they had a zero tolerance to such a life. That was no future. We have, unfortunately, still a very low dynamic of economy. A lot of our people, they work abroad. Labor forces, number of labor forces quite significant. And opposition, which is quite active in Kyrgyzstan, and we are trying to set up such a balance for any governments. And so Bakiyev's government didn't give us any opportunity. I'm the leader of opposition fraction in the parliament, but 11 of us out of 90, we didn't have any chance to articulate our issues, our intolerance to them. So we worked as party, we worked as fraction in the parliament, plus other opposition parties, and people just came out.
If you say that you represent the pulse of the nation as it is right now, and if you have a president who is unwilling to give up that post, do you expect there to be more violence?
There are violence, and Bakiyev, he's not just sitting there and waiting the continuation of his presidency. He works, he's continuing to work. He sends back to capital his people, mercenaries. They are going through the city, still shooting people. They are working among the people with all sorts of rumors against our interim governments. They have enough money to work with the people against the government. But we are so far controlling the situation, and we must strengthen our forces day by day, and we hope that we would control the whole country.
Ms. Otunbayeva, there's much discussion and speculation in the media and by commentators speaking to us out of Kyrgyzstan over the relationship of your interim government and the military bases that are hosted by you, a Russian military base and an American military base. Many questions about whether you would want to close the American military base and support the Russian military base. What's your perspective on that?
I think there is no ground for any speculation. My government is now very busy with high priorities as security, as bringing life to normalcy, regarding the base, American base. We keep our commitment so far, which been I never have seen myself this agreement, by the way, between the Americans and my government, and we don't have now time to look at, but my government will keep the commitments, the previous commitments, and I don't see any ground for all sorts of speculation. We will not give any favors for any country with this regard. We'll keep our commitments to those agreements which we signed earlier.
Ms. Otunbayeva, there's a great deal of interest, obviously, and concern about what's going on in your country. How do you see it playing out now, considering there is support for your government perhaps in the north of the country and a great deal of regional support for, as he is still, the president of Kyrgyzstan in the south of the country?
We have such a traditional or historical and geographical such to both sides. One is south, another is northern part of Kyrgyzstan. But over the last 18 years, we never had any dramatic problems with that. This time also, I'm sure that we'll avoid any conflict which will split the country, and any speculations using and exploiting low ground of such a low instincts of people based on regionalities, this will not work, because in the south we have our governors working. A lot of our people who vote, who work for us, who want new life.
Do you think, Ms. Otunbayeva, that you will be able to keep your promise of elections within 6 months?
As soon as we will normalize the life. By the way, we have a working group which started to work on the constitution's draft. In the previous our discussions, for three main opposition parties, we agreed new constitution in the context of parliamentary republic, and basing on such agreement, we'll work out this new draft of constitution, and we'll offer this to people.
Yes.
I hope that as soon as we'll come to normalcy, we'll start immediately to realize our promise about the constitution.
Indeed. There, I'm afraid, Ms. Otunbayeva, we have to leave it. Thank you very much for talking to us live here on Al Jazeera.
Thank you.
Thank you.